Leonardo da Vinci, the quintessential Renaissance man, lived a life that embodied the spirit of creativity, curiosity, and relentless pursuit of knowledge. As an artist, scientist, inventor, and thinker, his contributions spanned across numerous fields, leaving an indelible mark on humanity. But beyond his tangible achievements in painting masterpieces like The Last Supper and Mona Lisa, or his countless inventions, Leonardo left behind life lessons that resonate deeply with anyone seeking to live creatively and purposefully. In a world that's constantly evolving, where multitasking is a necessity, and where the pressures of life often push us to sacrifice curiosity and creativity for efficiency, Leonardo's life offers a refreshing and much-needed reminder of what it means to live fully. His life wasn't about perfection but about exploration, wonder, and the continuous journey of learning. From his works, we can extract timeless principles that not only shaped his genius but can also serve as a guide to those looking to live more deeply and meaningfully. 1. The power of unquenchable curiosity. Never stop learning. Perhaps the most profound of all Leonardo da Vinci's traits was his insatiable curiosity. For him, the world was a mystery waiting to be unraveled, and everything around him, from the fluttering of a bird's wing to the intricate motion of water, fascinated him. He didn't just observe passively, he asked questions, lots of them. His notebooks are filled with observations that seem so simple yet reveal his profound need to understand how things work. One entry reads, "Describe the tongue of the woodpecker," and while it might seem trivial, this curiosity reflected his wider desire to comprehend every corner of the natural world. Lesson: curiosity is the engine of lifelong learning. It is the childlike wonder that we should never lose, even as adults. In a fast-paced world, it's easy to focus only on what's practical or immediately beneficial, but Leonardo teaches us that true wisdom comes from asking why and how continuously. Don't let life's routine extinguish your curiosity. Stay open to learning, exploring, and questioning everything. You never know which question might unlock your next big breakthrough. 2. Multidisciplinary thinking. Embrace all your interests. Leonardo wasn't just a painter. His mind traversed fields as diverse as engineering, anatomy, music, botany, and more. While today's world often encourages specialization, Leonardo saw value in being a polymath. He understood that disciplines inform one another, that creativity flourishes at the intersection of different fields. His studies of anatomy, for instance, made his paintings more lifelike, and his observations of nature inspired his engineering designs. What's remarkable is how these diverse interests weren't just hobbies, they were vital to his genius. His fascination with how muscles move, for example, allowed him to paint more realistic human figures. His understanding of light and geometry helped him perfect techniques in painting. Leonardo didn't see these fields as separate, instead, he integrated them, using one to feed into the other. Lesson: don't box yourself into one field or label. In today's world, being multidisciplinary is more valuable than ever. Let your interests evolve, even if they seem unrelated. If you love both photography and coding, dive into both. If you're passionate about cooking and physics, explore where those passions can meet. Often, it's in combining seemingly disparate fields that you'll discover new ways of thinking. Embrace the breadth of your interests, just as Leonardo did, and let them feed off each other creatively. 3. Observation. The world around you is a source of endless inspiration. One of Leonardo's most powerful tools was his ability to observe, and not just casually glance, but really see. When he studied a subject, whether it was the flow of water, the anatomy of a horse, or the texture of a leaf, he noticed things that most people would overlook. His art reflected this deep observation. Look closely at his sketches, and you'll notice how meticulously he captures the curves of a face or the muscles of an arm. His works were not just the product of imagination but of careful observation of reality. His scientific pursuits also demonstrate this skill. He studied cadavers to understand human anatomy and recorded observations that were centuries ahead of his time. This meticulousness in observing both the artistic and scientific world allowed him to innovate in ways others could not. Lesson: the world is full of details that can fuel your creativity, if only you take the time to truly observe. Whether you're an artist, writer, engineer, or businessperson, the practice of observation can enhance your work. Slow down and notice the small things, the patterns in nature, the way people move and speak, the textures of the world around you. This simple practice of being present and noticing details can lead to greater creativity and deeper insights in everything you do. 4. Perseverance. Patience breeds greatness. Leonardo was not afraid to spend years or even decades on a single project. Some of his most famous works, like The Last Supper, took years to complete, and even then, Leonardo would often return to them to add new details or corrections. He was a notorious perfectionist, often abandoning projects that he felt didn't meet his standards. This was not due to a lack of ambition but because he was so committed to mastery. Yet, this quest for mastery didn't mean he was paralyzed by the fear of finishing. Instead, he balanced his perfectionism with patience. He understood that great work takes time, that real innovation doesn't come overnight. His perseverance was rooted in his dedication to his craft, and this dedication ultimately led to works that have stood the test of time. Lesson: we live in a world that rewards speed, but Leonardo's life is a reminder that patience and perseverance are essential for true greatness. Don't rush your work for the sake of getting it done. Instead, take the time to refine and perfect it. While deadlines and speed are important in today's world, never lose sight of the value of patience. Trust that your dedication and time spent on improving your craft will yield results. Lesson: passion is what fuels excellence. Find the things that excite you, and pursue them relentlessly. Even in tasks that seem unrelated to your passions, bring your creative energy into them. If you love what you do, that passion will shine through, making your work not only more enjoyable but also more impactful. 7. Health and balance, nourishing the body and mind. Though less discussed, Leonardo was a strong advocate for health and balance. He practiced moderation in his eating habits and believed in the importance of physical exercise. His mental acuity was, in many ways, tied to his respect for his physical well-being. He understood that the mind and body are interconnected, and to achieve greatness, both must be nourished. Lesson: in the pursuit of success, don't neglect your health. To perform at your best, you need to care for both your body and mind. Exercise regularly, eat mindfully, and take breaks when you need them. Balance is crucial to maintaining long-term creativity and productivity. Leonardo's holistic approach to life shows that self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity for sustained success. 8. Dare to dream big. Visionary thinking. One of Leonardo's most remarkable qualities was his ability to dream far beyond the limits of his time. Many of his ideas, like his designs for flying machines, armored vehicles, or giant crossbows, were impossible to build with the technology available in the 15th century. Yet, he sketched and conceptualized these inventions, knowing that someday, someone might bring them to life. His visionary thinking laid the groundwork for future innovators to turn his dreams into reality. Lesson: don't be afraid to dream big, even if your ideas seem impossible. Some of the greatest innovations in history started as crazy ideas. Your vision may be ahead of its time, but that doesn't mean it isn't worth pursuing. Dream boldly, and let your imagination take you to places others can't yet see. 9. Journaling. Document your journey. One of the most fascinating aspects of Leonardo's life is his extensive journals, filled with sketches, notes, questions, and ideas. His notebooks were not just a record of his work but a reflection of his thought process. They allowed him to explore ideas, test concepts, and refine his thoughts over time. Lesson: writing down your thoughts, ideas, and observations can be incredibly powerful. Journaling helps you organize your thinking, track your progress, and reflect on your growth. Whether you're brainstorming new ideas or processing emotions, putting pen to paper can provide clarity and inspiration. 10. Challenge authority. Questioning the status quo. Leonardo wasn't one to accept things at face value. He often questioned the established beliefs of his time, particularly in science and anatomy. Through careful observation and experimentation, he challenged the medical and scientific knowledge of the day. His independent thinking led to discoveries and insights that were centuries ahead of his peers. Lesson: don't be afraid to challenge conventional wisdom. Just because something is widely accepted doesn't mean it's right. Use your own observations and critical thinking to form your own conclusions. Progress often comes from questioning the status quo. 11. Mastery over perfection. Strive for growth. Though Leonardo sought excellence in everything he did, he was also aware that perfection is an evolving journey. Some of his works, such as the Mona Lisa, were never truly finished in his eyes, as he kept refining them. He wasn't fixated on perfection but rather on mastery, always improving and evolving his skills. Lesson: rather than being paralyzed by the pursuit of perfection, focus on continual growth. Mastery is about the journey of always striving to improve, not about reaching an impossible standard. Enjoy the process, and let your work evolve over time. Conclusion: Leonardo da Vinci's life lessons transcend time and profession, offering a blueprint for creative living that is as relevant today as it was during the Renaissance. His relentless curiosity, willingness to embrace failure, multidisciplinary thinking, and patient dedication to mastery are values that we can all incorporate into our lives, no matter our field. In a world that often pushes us to specialize, hurry, and focus solely on results, Leonardo's life reminds us to slow down, observe, question, and, above all, create. His genius didn't come from rushing through life but from living it fully, exploring every idea, embracing every passion, and continuously learning. By following his example, we can enrich our own lives, not just in terms of achievement but in the quality of our experiences and the depth of our understanding. In the end, the most important lesson Leonardo da Vinci left us is this: life itself is an art form, and we are its creators.